And welcome to the Rupert Tuesday. My name's Rupert, and this is my review for Netflix's original new series, Anatomy of a Scandal. Have you heard about this one? Have you read the book that this is based on? Let me know your thoughts, but for now, let's jump in. Anatomy of a Scandal is about a scandal amongst Britain's privileged elite and the woman caught up in its wake. Sophia's husband, James, is a loving father, a handsome man, and a charismatic and successful public figure. And yet, he stands accused of a terrible crime. 6 episodes long, 45 minutes apiece, and if you've been following the British monarchy or government for any amount of time, you will know the drama that it surrounds it. Even the last few years, it's been rife with that. Even with amount of scandals from Brexit to affairs, it's all in there. So it doesn't take much of the imagination to watch this series and go, yeah, that seems pretty accurate. I think faith in our government is at an all-time low. It has been going that way for a long time, so I don't know how this is going to stir things up. But this is drama. It is fiction, but it's based on someone that has worked in this industry with politicians. They've taken what they know and put it into stories. So it isn't based on any one person, so it isn't based on a true story, but it is based on true events that happen, and they've kind of culminized that and put it into a story which makes for very interesting drama. Sienna Miller plays the wife here, and I thought she was fantastic with playing that wife that has been bereaved, but also trying to play the wife that is not sure what has gone on with her husband. If you've ever seen the beginning few episodes of The Good Wife, you kind of have the same sort of feel, the understanding, the disbelievability, and then once the story starts to unfold, you start seeing other sides. It's a courtroom drama case, so you're following the stories, but it also shows the flashbacks of what has happened a long time ago when they were kind of growing up together, studying with the elite. And there's a lot of the story that kind of shapes the future of how this came to be, and that probably might not make sense of like what has that got to do with, you know, what they're dealing with in this case. But as the flashbacks start to shape the future, you go, okay, I'm seeing this more. I would say that the first episode, it establishes what's going on, but it doesn't keep you riveted or engaged as I was expecting. It's because it is establishing the story. Once you get into the second episode, I think you start understanding more of what's going on, and the actors are starting to get some more meaty monologues and really kind of get you emotionally engaged. You kind of have an idea of who you think the bad guys are or who you think is right. But by mid-episode, well, episode 3, they kind of switch that and start showing you the other side of the story. Not as much as I wanted, but I thought that was an interesting way to go. With those flashbacks, you see kind of two sides of the same coin, and then you see how politics is in the midst of truth. I think the core premise and theme is that truth is what you make it, and those in power have the ability to twist truth to their liking for their benefit, and those in power who with money in politics have always been the ones that come out top. And so if you're easily upset with a story like this or what governments do in your own life, and then you come home and you're like, let me watch this drama, this looks interesting, it may take you a while to get out of a funk after watching this, because you're like, man, this really feels like it hit the nail on the head. Or you might be nodding your head and see, I told you, because it does feel very accurate to what's going on. The performance-wise, it's fantastic. The way it's shot is very interesting as well. There's some really interesting creativity shots where suddenly the people in the court have disappeared, and there's two people facing off with each other, and it's kind of like who's going to win this kind of argument. It's a very interesting way to go. I do hate the 360 spinning cam thing that everybody seems to use, because it feels like a lazy way to do a camera shot. You could be more creative than that. That's just my like Dutch angle. It seems like there's so much of that around, and this has it a couple of times. That's my only negativity, and that's nitpicking, because I think as a story it definitely is gripping. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's 6 episodes. The performances alone are fantastic. Sienna through to our other protagonists are fantastic, and I think it gives a more accurate look at what I guess lawyering is, or a barrister is in the UK, because in America I know you have so many lawyer series where you see them, you know, really shouting and going for it. This is much more reserved, very kind of monarchy speech is in the way because of where it was set up. You know, they're still wearing the wigs, so that'll give you an idea of how they're able to tell and inflect emotion through what they're saying cleverly, and I appreciate that. I think that's quite good. So sometimes you want to know what's going on, and you kind of have to decipher through their eyes or the line. It has like double meanings. I appreciate that. The script kind of reflects, I'm guessing, what has gone on within the book, but I think the script is clever enough to kind of allow the audience to decipher some things for themselves. But by the end, you're still kind of left with, but what happened? I do like the fact that it kept me guessing for a few episodes. I think probably 3 or 4. And there was a mic drop moment where I went, that I didn't see coming. Don't spoil it down in the comments, because I think that is probably the best reveal of the 6 episodes of the story. There is a mic drop moment and I was like, wow, that's great. How did I not see that coming? Maybe I'm just being slow, but normally I can pick up all those moments. This didn't do that. So it has those moments. It's worth sticking out to the end. Although it may make you feeling, yeah, I know this. And people, even in fiction, writing about it, this doesn't seem so far-fetched. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to this? Had you read the book? And if you're one of those that have read the book and you've watched the series, let me know what you think, like which one's better. How was it adapted? I'd love to know your thoughts about that. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 Nicolas Cages. I think it's definitely worth putting on your list if you like those courtroom dramas, this sort of style. It works well, it flows well. There isn't really moments where it doesn't kind of move the story along. Everything has a purpose, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.